I am Frances Harris Tacy, but you can call me Franny, and I am a farmer. We have a farm just outside of Asheville, and I was destined to be a farmer. My nickname growing up was Nature Mama. Yeah, and I have work experience and degrees in forestry and education, and I spent almost 12 years in the pharmaceutical industry, where they actually affectionately referred to me as the hippie in high heels. So by day, I was managing a $10 million territory, living by spreadsheets, business plans, presentations. But by the wee hours of the morning and late at night, I was farming. Yes, and those last couple of years, I was planning my exit strategy from corporate America and called it Pharma to Farm. So about 6 years ago in 2012, my husband and I bought land, and we called it Franny's Farm. And we've built so many things. We do so many wonderful, fun things there. We have festivals and farm camp and lodging, and we welcome visitors. And we have all sorts of animals and do goat yoga. And then we have gardens everywhere. My mom said I was born with 10 green thumbs. So we have got fruit, pollinator, bee gardens, all scattered throughout our land. But of all the farm enterprises that we have going on, all the gardens and everything we do, there is one crop that we grow that I value the most. And if we had to choose one seed to keep on our farm, it is a crop that was grown by Thomas Jefferson and George Washington. It's the only crop that you can grow that will feed, clothe, shelter, and provide medicine for we the people. This is a crop that has been cultivated and consumed in every corner of the globe since humankind. It has over 25,000 identified uses for which we already have markets and are innovating markets for in the U.S. This crop is hemp. It's hemp, not to be confused with its family member, marijuana. So the U.S. is currently the largest importer of hemp in the entire world. The Hemp Industries Association reports $700 million in U.S. retail sales in 2016. It's already grown to $820 million, and guess where it's coming from? It's being imported. It's being imported. Just imagine what could happen if American farmers were allowed to legally grow this crop and supply the demand. We can import it from China, and yet American farmers can't grow it. It's federally illegal. I very humbly stand before you today as the ambassador for all things possible with hemp. I believe this crop can and will single-handedly change the face of agriculture in our country as we know it. It will also be the biggest economic driver for industries such as food, textiles, building materials, and medicine. So, few people know the first drafts of the Declaration of Independence were even written on hemp paper. So we were growing it back then. What happened? What's happened to hemp in the U.S.? Well, hemp historically has come in and out of favor depending on the political and economic culture of our society. In 1937, when Congress passed the Marijuana Tax Act, that effectively began the era of hemp prohibition. And it just expanded within 2 years later in 1939 when they released Reefer Madness, a propaganda video that was spread by political and religious institutions. So hemp remains a political issue today. And we are and need to emerge from almost 80 years of federal cannabis prohibition. And public knowledge has been left up to rumors and misinterpretations. So let me clear up a few things for you. And I'm going to distinguish the difference between hemp and marijuana. So both hemp and marijuana belong to the cannabis family. Both hemp and marijuana look alike. They smell alike. They're both comprised of the same over 100 identified cannabinoids. Thus the confusion. Hemp and marijuana, there's also hundreds of varieties of hemp and marijuana, just like there are other crops like tomatoes and peppers, potatoes. Marijuana contains THC. It's cultivated for high levels of THC. And THC is the only cannabinoid that has psychoactive effects. It's the only cannabinoid with psychoactive effects. Marijuana is grown for recreational and medicinal purposes. So if you want to help remember it, THC, you could think of the high cannabinoid. Hemp, however, has less than 0.3% THC, no psychoactive effects. You get that? Less than 0.3%, no psychoactive effects. Hemp has higher levels of CBD, which is another cannabinoid that has been well researched and documented. Hemp and marijuana have completely different applications, cultivation, and function. Hemp has applications that marijuana couldn't possibly be used for, such as food, but textiles, building materials. They even have really cool prototypes of hemp guitars and bicycles and dishes. You're not using marijuana for that. You're not. So hemp has enormous environmental, economic, and commercial potential. Farmers, American farmers, we need a crop like hemp to make farming a viable profession and to preserve our land. And we, the people, y'all need farmers. You need farmers. And hemp is a versatile, sustainable crop. And hemp is making a comeback. So in 2013, Forbes writes, hemp, a win-win for the economy and the environment. 2013 also marked the first year that human trials for medical cannabis research were conducted by GW Pharmaceuticals. The next year, in 2014, we have the Farm Bill pass, and that paves the way for states to adopt legislation to legally grow hemp. So right now, currently over 30 states have industrial hemp pilot programs that allow universities and researchers to grow with a permit. Only 11 of those states have farmers growing with a permit. So I got to be one of those farmers. In 2017, I was the first female farmer to plant industrial hemp in North Carolina. And we planted hemp from seed for food and fiber. And what an amazing educational experience. It was like being back in Ag 101 for me. It was amazing. We collaborated with NC State Research, Mountain Research Station to grow. It's about a 4-month grow season. And at the end of that, when we harvested, which we did all by hand, we used very rudimentary equipment, mussels. And we donated every piece of it and worked with chefs and artisans and farmers and other people to create products like hemp oil. We made hemp honey, hemp tea, hemp protein balls. We even made hemp yarn. And so at the end of that season, we presented this all at a Hemp X festival at Franny's farm, where we also had all the farmers that had grown this first year. We were doing farmer panels and discussions, and I got the fever. I have not been able to stop since then about talking about hemp, telling everybody about hemp, extension service meetings, wherever I can go across this state and beyond to talk about hemp and what we learned, especially from a farming aspect. We did a big thing at Mother Earth News Fair where people came in from all over states to hear us talk about this. And in 2018, this year, we're growing hemp again. But this year, we're growing varieties for high CBD content. It is the most amazing thing. We are growing outdoors on our farm. We're growing indoors in greenhouses now. Yes, we are taking this not just from growing and harvesting. We're still collaborating with people, and we are innovating new products, different ways to use this. We're taking it into wholesale and retail markets and producing products that are good for people. Everything we are doing is entrepreneurship at its best and innovation in the new markets. And this is all new markets. So also in 2018, because of that passion, I got to be the featured farmer for Hemp History Week, which was a really big deal. We did more workshops. We had people from all over this country, the leading researchers and entomologists and all the science geeky things I love so much. And we continued to educate and share. And so what are these new markets? I mean, where is the opportunity? So I talked about how versatile hemp is. So in the case of health, wellness, medicine, everyday use. You know, I woke up this morning, I took a shower, used hemp soap, used hemp lotion. I'm taking CBD oils. I mean, everything. And so people ask me all the time, what are the most reliable resources? I'm not a physician, I don't prescribe it, but I send people to the Cannabis Health Index publication and also CBD, the Patient's Guide to Medical Cannabis, Healing Without the High. Great resources to find out more. In the case for paper, and according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, 1 acre of hemp can produce 4 times as much paper. And this is actually hemp paper that was made with the hemp we grew on our farm by a friend. So most of the paper is very ornamental. We need this on a more common scale. We definitely need it on a more common scale. There we are. And then in the case for fiber, so hemp is 10 times stronger than cotton. It produces twice as much as an acre of cotton. It uses less water, is more disease resistant, and it grows in all 50 states. So those are some great facts, but I actually like the textile part of it, which I'm wearing a hemp dress. It's a blend of cotton and hemp. It doesn't mean one has to replace the other. They can work together. So in the case for food, which we're all eating every day, there is so much wonderful stuff going on with food. Hemp seed is nutritious, high-protein oil that can be used for human and animal consumption, and it can be used to make tofu, butter, cheese, salad oils, all sorts of desserts and treats it's used in. Hemp protein can be flavored and processed in any way soybean protein can. And my personal favorites that I highly recommend, hemp beer and hemp burgers. Super nutritious and tasty, if you ask me. So hemp is super viable for everybody. but we need it more mainstream. And the way to get it more mainstream is if I'm not the only one doing this. If we all eat it, wear it, buy it, grow it. So it's time to rewrite a new chapter for hemp in our history, in American history. For you, for the farmers, for your children, for the future, for the elderly. Hemp is for everyone. It is for everyone. So if you are a business person, if you eat, if you talk, if you breathe, we need you in this industry. It is vote with your dollars. Try it. Get out there and just try something new. You will learn so much from trying something new. Vote with your dollars. If you're an advocate for a cause, look to our newly formed Women in Hemp nonprofit. It helps support scholarships for female hemp farmers and female hemp artisans that are looking to develop all these products that I've talked about. And if you're a researcher or activist, look to the organization Vote Hemp. They are a reliable resource that keeps you up to date every day about what's going across all the states in our legislation, and you can get involved. And I hope that I've given you something to think about, but really, there's something more. I want to give you something to feel. And I want you to know that everything you do makes a difference. This is important. You are important. We are all here for the right reasons right now together because we make a difference. So please, vote hemp, get involved, and thank you for your time. Appreciate it.